Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome back to another Raid Challenges video with the Hydra rotation, the next one coming up. What I thought was, okay, let's go and check which heads will be popping up for rotation number 3. This is going to be very difficult for everyone because new heads mean a new team and strategy will be required to beat them. The teams that we have at the moment might not work, so the Geomancer kind of teams and strategy that works might not be working as good as it is for this third rotation. Let's have a look at which heads will be up. And let's just brainstorm and think, okay, which strategies will be the best for these ones. So these are the normal Hydra stats, by the way. These can be found either from the Hades website or from the Hydra Stats by Bobo spreadsheet that is available. And if you guys want to check it out and see what is available, it shows season 1, season 2, and season 3 stats. But let's just have a look here because it's much more easier for me to read through. So, by the way, the stats here in the parentheses are the ones that you need. So 135 accuracy is needed to go through the 110 resistance that the head has. 315 resistance is needed so that the boss right here doesn't apply, let's say, the provoke, okay? So this head, the head of wrath, is the one that applies provoke. You hit it 15 times, it hits you back. It gets kind of enraged and it does way more damage. There's a head of suffering also available right here. Head of suffering is the one that also, by the way, reduces damage taken for its allies through AoE attacks. So definitely gonna make it trickier for those Trunda cheese tactics that are out there at the moment. I wouldn't say cheese, but I wouldn't say they work as intended. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say anything for Plarium to nerf this. All right. Head of suffering definitely kind of sucks, but isn't as bad as everyone else. This applies ally protection to its allies as well, plus a reflect damage buff on itself. So I still think the block buffs will be great here, but any debuffs that you apply because of this rotation will be mitigated through the Head of Decay. Head of Decay sucks. Head of Decay is the one that cleanses the team, its allies, twice in a row. All right. It's got 2 skills. First one cleanses, the second one cleanses. It's very annoying. Anything that you try and apply on the enemies sucks. But the good thing is that there's no Head of Mischief here at the start of this rotation. So Head of Mischief is the one that steals buffs. Head of Torment is the one that applies fear. So these are maybe the most annoying for some people because this one needs Shamael to make it trivial, and this one needs Hex to make it kind of trivial in terms of hitting it because there's a 50% chance to hit it. But always remember that this head can possibly pop up after you beat any of these heads. So if you can get a team working that can get the heads down very quickly, then it means you have a higher chance on higher difficulties to get these popping out instead of the same ones right here. The Head of Decay will be very tricky to bring down. I still think that team setups using something as AoE nukers such as Husk or Royal Guard will still be very good against these ones. Anything that gives you strengthen buff, defense up buff will be great because it will help you survive a little bit longer against the Head of Wrath. Decrease attack will be required. Block buffs always is good, but again, remember that the double cleanse right here, it's gonna make it annoying for the Head of Wrath applying any decrease attack that is not very consistent. So consistent decrease attack is the way to go. Decrease speed is always needed for the Hydra. It's been proven that it's one of the best debuffs that you can apply if you can apply it consistently. So let's just have a look at the champions and theory craft on which ones might be the ones popping up as the best ones for this rotation. So in my eyes, I think, in my mind, I think that we're still gonna have the ones that we have at the moment, except for, let's say, Geomancer. Geomancer will have it very difficult for him to apply this HP burn and stick it on that boss that just cleanses it. That Head of Decay cleanses it twice in a row. It's gonna be very annoying. Of course, you can wait a bit for the Head of Decay to do its thing, but after that, it will be cleansing its allies and it's gonna suck. Okay, unfortunately, you can't do anything about it. You cannot lock out the debuffs. I mean, the protection set that we have through the Hydra only protects buffs. It would have been cool if protected debuffs as well. Maybe that would have been a nice strategy to think of in the future. Let's say you grind out the Hydra, you get the gear, and then you can use that gear to do even higher difficulties through it. But it doesn't seem to be the case. The Trender Cheese, as I said, might still work because of the damage potential that you can do. There's no Head of Torment to basically cheese it out with the there's no Head of Torment to cheese it out with the extra turn meter that the Trunda will be getting. But instead of Shamael, you can have somebody else with more nuking, so you can mitigate that 30% decrease with the 2 Trundas, and then let's say a Prince Chimer there to reset the Trundas and get more damage through that way. All right. The next champion that I still think it's gonna be great, I think it's Mother Cybele. Has been proven to be niche for this boss because of the decreased speed. Very high chance to apply decreased speed. Much easier than other champions. She also boosts her turn meter. There's an HP swap that she has available. There's the revive and an increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty low, to be honest. If you build her out with masteries that extend the duration of buffs, like the increased defense, it's gonna be great. If it's extended to 3 turns, it means you can have it up all the time. And she also fully heals the ally with the lowest HP whenever this champion is killed. This can be very good as a way to heal out your team. So I think Mother Cybele might be the one that is that shines for this rotation. More consistent way to apply the decreased speed without actually using a cooldown. Tomb Lord is great because of the decreased attack and decreased defense, but remember, it's a cooldown. So I don't think he's gonna be that great against this rotation. He's still good if you don't have something better, but stuff like Krisk will always be better because it's just 100 times more consistent to have it through a passive rather than through skills. Okay, they hit Krisk applies defense down and decreased attack. It's just insane that we have a champion like this available in the game. It's crazy how good he is for the Hydra. Of course, Tuhanarag is still great because of the immense amount of stuff that she provides. Decreased speed, continuous heals, cleansing, increased defense, increased speed, decreased attack, block buffs, debuff spread. Yeah, she's as crazy as Krisk. I remember saying it from the first day that I saw her that she is so good. She's just crazy good. And I wish I could get lucky and get her. Anyway, I still think that she's gonna be great. Other champions that I think will be better are champions that weren't used so much before because we needed to kind of have either a perfect veil kind of team. So I think Duchess will not be used so much anymore. We might even see champions such as let's go Sacred Order right here. I think Cardinal is a very good alternative for that. All revive plus heal plus boost the turn meter to max. I think it's going to be very useful for the Hydra. And Godseeker is also great, but I think she's already great in the previous 2 versions of the Hydra because of the big healing that she has, a revive and death that she applies, plus an actual revive that resets the cooldowns. Insane skills for an epic. And then finally, I think in terms of damage potential, I think just Royal Guard will be much better because if I remember the affinities, okay, we have 2 blues and 2 greens. So the 2 blues, the Husk is going to be good against. The 2 greens, he will be weak against. But Royal Guard will be good against all 4 in terms of no weak hits on the blues and of course stronger hits on the greens. So I still think Royal Guard will be more used this rotation, so rotation number 3. Royal Guard will be the MVP. Stuff like Lydia, of course. AoE defense down, weaken. Again, just fantastic, but the cleanses are going to be annoying. So maybe the most MVP here, it's going to be gearing. Just farming regen sets. Always going here to the Bazaar and just buying those much needed accessories here. I always forget them, but yeah, just go in, buy them. What do I get? A 4-star there that's going to be sold. And what do we get here? A 6-star Sacred Order. Not bad. Maybe for my Venus. Maybe for my Venus, I can actually use that. But definitely rotation number 3 will be, I think, it will be more interesting than the ones before because these ones, they forced you into some specific champions. Both the Head of Mischief with high resist, so you wouldn't get your buff stolen and then spread out. And then both the Head of Torment, because of the fears, you either needed to have at least 1 spot taken out by Shamael or a perfect veil to make sure that your team works the best way, and unless you had the total end game team which had Tuhanarag in there. I think that one doesn't use a Shaman, if I'm not mistaken. But this one will be the final rotation. I still think that we'll have something even more crazy when the next difficulty comes in. I don't know what that's gonna be, but I hope it's worth it, especially we get more rewards, maybe a brand new legendary until that time comes, because players will start to be unlocking Mithrala. I'm so close unlocking Mithrala, and I've honestly never beaten Nightmare with my clan. I'm at 59 out of 100, and I think many players are getting close. Many players will be unlocking it the next couple of weeks, and by the time rotation 3 is over, I'll probably have her unlocked. So definitely gonna be an interesting, at least first part of the year in terms of the Hydra and what we'll have by the end of these first 6 months. Rotation number 3 is coming. What you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.